The New Jersey Communications, Advertising and Marketing Association presents a Q&A session with Bob Dilenschneider of the Dilenschneider Group. This program was recorded October 27, 2010 at Rider University in Lawrenceville, New Jersey.
You may have some questions or some comments. And Beth Brody is raising her hand. Beth.
The first skill you have to have is you have to care. You have to do something. Otherwise, it's all about ourselves. So the first skill you need to have is look around at yourself and look at the challenges and problems that are out there, and you got to care about doing something. Knowing that, you need to have a second skill, which is you have to have a basic command of the English language. You have to understand grammar, and you have to know how to make a compelling argument. You have to tell people how to convince, that they should be convinced to do something, whether it's with words or graphic images. That is a second critical skill. A third skill, yes, you've got to reach people through the internet. It's very possible, and there are many ways to do it. Everybody in this room knows it. I'm sure you've all got your own methods, but you need to apply your grammar, your arguments, and your concern in the best ways in cyberspace that are available to you. And you need to make sure you don't stop. Now, this is Tuesday. I defy all of us to tell one another what was in the newspaper on Saturday or Sunday, except for the war, the economy, and the election. Must have been something else out there. Most of us can't remember. And my point, Beth, is that if you do it once, it's not enough. You have to do it again and again and again. We have a basic rule in my company, which is you've got to reach somebody 11 times to get them to take action, 3 times to get them their attention, 5 to 7 times to get them to understand it, and 11 times to get them to take action. That's a lot of times. But you got to have the resilience, the determination to be willing to do it. You can't stop because you've done it once. So those are some of the skills. Yes.
So I'm a 22-year-old graduate of Rider, and I applied for a job at your company. What are you looking for? And how do you find out whether I have the skills and the mindset that you look for?
I am looking for, most people should be looking for, extremely intelligent people. I don't need a communicator. An intelligent person figures out how to communicate. So number one, I want a person who's intelligent. Number two, I want a person who is unafraid to advance their point of view. Number three, and maybe this should be number one, we say to people at our company, if you're not committed to the common weal, don't come. I want somebody who's prepared to advance the common weal. After that, we'll get to some of the skills that are important. But those 3 things are really very important. So when we hire people, we tend to hire 2 kinds of people. One is we hire people who had 20, 30, sometimes 40 years of experience and have demonstrated success in what they do. If you go to our website, you'll see some of the names. The second is we try to hire the smartest people we can possibly find. And that combination generally gets results for the people we work with. Do we hire great communicators? Yeah, I guess so. But at the end of the day, we really hire people who are extremely smart, who are committed to the common weal, and who have some experience. Of course.
So now I'm a 15-year-old high school kid. I'm thinking of my grandchildren.
Right.
What should they be doing in high school to get smart? I mean, you don't just get smart.
Sure.
You do it by studying. And what should they be doing in college other than studying?
Well, no one's going to like my answer, but they should read the classics. That's the opener. When you put your resume together, everybody in the room got a resume? I'm sure you all have one. Think about a quote to start the resume. Don't just start with your name and address and your first experience. Put a quote in there. Why? Because the person reading the resume will then say, what's that quote mean? And when you talk to the person reading the resume, you can explain it. That's what the quote means. Do little things like that that make a difference. Read the newspaper. Now, there aren't many newspapers you can read now. So look at the Associated Press online, Reuters online, and Bloomberg online. Changes every few minutes. And understand what's going on in the world. Have a capacity for what's taking place out there. Talk to your other 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 14-year-olds, and try to understand how they feel about things. And try to put that together in a whole. I think those are some things that are pretty basic and would help enormously. You had a question in the back, I'm sorry.
In today's society, with the electronic media being so prevalent, where do you see the traditional print media going?
I had breakfast this morning with the editor of The Economist magazine, John Micklethwait. That magazine is knocking the cover off the book. Last week, I had a meeting with the man that heads up a publication called The Week. Maybe you've seen these two publications. Those two are doing print very well. My hometown newspaper has gone from a circulation of 100,000 to 16,000. Something's wrong. They're not serving the needs of the community. So the difference between my hometown newspaper and The Economist and The Week is my hometown newspaper is not serving my needs, and The Economist and The Week are. Having said that, print journalists fundamentally have been hidebound for years. They sat around whining, saying nobody's paying attention to us, and you know something? Their papers, their magazines are getting shut right and left. There still is a significant future for print journalism, having said that. Much more so than television and radio. Much more so than the internet. And the reason is very simple. Print journalists who can truly understand and communicate an issue in more than 14 or 15 words are going to be read by people. So there are serious people out there wanting to read print journalism. You can get it on Facebook, you can get it on the Kindle, you can get it on your iPad, you can read it with your hands. But there are people reading print journalism. It does have a future. The issue is creativity of the people putting it together.
I've got a question on that point, Bob. In a way, one point you made resonated with me when you said that there are more people accessing information through the Huffington Post than perhaps through the New York Times. The trouble being that the Huffington Post isn't reporting news, it's reporting opinions. And underscored a feeling that I have that the social media is not the best media to be a mass medium and to be a transmitter of news and understanding of issues. But in your book, you talk about other applications of the social media and things like investor relations, more specific applications, and I wonder if you could address any of them that seem to have, where the social media can be more helpful.
Sure. The social media can be helpful in many ways. You mentioned investor relations. Anybody that's trying to create decent value for their stock and is not on the net is missing a huge bet, because most of the security analysts are on the net and most of them are below 35. So you got to reach them in that way. Healthcare is huge. There are things that I don't offend anybody if you're a doctor or you have doctors in your family. Doctors don't know very much. The ability, though, to get information about a problem you or one of your loved ones might have is pretty significant, and you can get it from stuff that's online. I had a doctor who diagnosed my problem, and he gave me the wrong stuff. Thank God I found somebody that did know what they were doing, and I used the social media to do it, and I corrected it. If I'd continued taking the wrong stuff, it would not have been a good situation. The social media can be very helpful when it comes to understanding the law. There's so much litigation out there today, it's not funny. How you use the law and how you don't use the law is really important to understand. You can get that from the social media. The social media is extremely important when it comes to jobs. You all pick up your newspaper, you look in the classified section, what was once 20 pages is now 2. Why? It's on the net. The social media is telling you where to go. The social media, my son Jeffrey, who's 24 years old, is terrific for selling things. Jeffrey is an eBay wizard. He probably makes $2,000 a day selling things on eBay, buying things for peanuts and marking them up and selling them on eBay. So there are lots of ways the social media can be used, all very effective. I want to thank you. Yes, I'm sorry.
Governor Christie is negative towards the teachers union. Someone, I'm not sure who, put a very negative video on YouTube depicting the people of the teachers credit or the union. How about legally? I mean, who is, if you can just put anything up and out and get, where is that going to take us? I mean, this is just one. It's a big example for New Jersey, but what about worldwide?
Big example for all the country.
Big example.
Put your finger on one of the big problems in the country. Is Chris Christie right? There are great teachers who are part of the teachers union. They are real clunkers as well. So it's up to the teachers union to either get rid of the clunkers or change the situation. Just saying the teachers union is bad, eliminate it, is not a very good thing. There are a lot of people in that teachers union that have really busted their pick over the years. I'm not for the teachers union. I'm not against it. I'm for great teachers. And I think that there are great teachers out there. You had a question? I'm sorry. Yes.
Expansion of the internet, that there's a lot of globalization going on. We know now that the internet can go to any major corporation. So where would you recommend, should we change our tone based on these culture, and how should we try to adapt our language, if at all?
It's a great question. I mean, it's very easy to talk to somebody in Russia, Uganda, Chile, tonight. It's very easy to do, as you know. And I think what we have to do is, by the power of persuasion, let them know they can rise to a higher level, and they can rise with us to a higher level. I don't have to tell anybody in this room. You have to be very careful of that. The story I told before about the lady who had the daughter that had the problem because she did the stories on Facebook, almost got kicked out of school. The Russian mafia got a hold of her pages. The Russian mafia went to this woman, Victoria, and they said, we're going to extort you. And if you don't pay us X amount of dollars, we're going to make this public. Victoria, thank God, said no. And they tried to make it public, but they weren't very successful. But the mob knows how to use cyberspace better than anybody in the room, guaranteed. They have people that are very good, and they pay them a lot of money, and they try to extort money. Yes?
You think print is going to be around, for a while, and you just alluded that TV and radio, less so. Can you expand on that a bit? Where do you see their future?
Sure.
5, 10 years?
Absolutely. With all respect, turn on any cable show tomorrow and look at the people who are broadcasting the news and ask yourself, do they know anything about what they're broadcasting? And with very few exceptions, Larry Kudlow, Maria Bartiromo, just a few know what's going on. Most don't. They read it. So that's one reason I think smart people say, I want to be somewhat skeptical about TV. Do any of you see this guy Kramer who sells stocks? The guy's a nutcase. He's been in front of the SEC. He's got serious problems, emotional problems as well as advisory problems. I think you need to know enough to steer clear of people like that who are screaming and yelling and beating on things in order to promote or not promote a stock. Very important. Radio, I'm sure everybody in the room listens to radio. You get in the car, you turn the radio on, great music, no question. So then you get the all-news station. The all-news station is built on a 15-minute segment. Most of the news in the all news station 15-minute segment has nothing to do with anybody in this room. It's developed to attract advertisers. There are patterns developed by a guy named Frank Magid in Iowa that most of the all news stations use. It just isn't going to be effective. So is print going to be around? I think so. Will it be as prevalent as it was? No way. Will print adapt itself to iPads and the Kindle? Absolutely. Everybody's figuring out how to do that right now. Thank you very much for the chance to be here. I want to wish you all very good luck, and good luck next Tuesday.
Thank you, Bob.
We hope you enjoyed this program, which was produced in the studios of Professional Podcasts in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, on the web at professionalpodcasts.com. For more information about the New Jersey Communications Advertising and Marketing Association, please visit njcama.org. For everyone at NJCAMA, this is Steve Lubetkin. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you out there on the net. Take good care.